Hello, everybody. At this time, we are talking about a small business. A small business is an independently or privately owned and operated company with fewer employees or less revenue than other businesses within a business particular industry. In general, you can define a small business as one with fewer than 500 employees, as these businesses generate lower profits than large businesses. A small business can access more government support resources. Small businesses with local operations may also provide specialized products or services to suit their community's needs, along with establishing collaborative partnerships or sponsorships for community efforts or events. And then we move to characteristics of small business. The first about ownership. They have a single owner, so it is also known as a sole proprietorship. And then second, about resources. They utilize local and immediately available resources. They do better utilization of natural resources and limited wastage. Third, about management. All the management works are controlled by the owner. Fourth, flexibility. Because they are small, they are open and flexible to sudden changes, unlike large industries. And fifth, limited reach. They have restricted area of operation, so they may be a local shop or an industry located in one area. And then we move to advantages of a small business. The first, small businesses can adapt quickly to market changes and implement new strategies without bureaucratic hurdles. Second, entrepreneurial satisfaction. Owners often find satisfaction in building and running their enterprise, pursuing their position and passion. And then third, personal connection. Owners often have a direct connection with customers, fostering personalized relationships and customers' loyalty. Fourth, community impact. Small businesses contribute to local economies, providing employment opportunities and supporting community development. And fifth, innovation. Small size facilitates quick decision making, allowing for innovation and the ability to capitalize on niche markets. And then we move to types of small businesses. The first type, sole proprietorship. A small business that is owned and operated by one person. This individual is responsible for all business related liabilities and debts. Second, partnerships. A small business owned by two people, where both owners invest their money, labor, and property into the business, making them both liable for business debt. And then third, limited liability company. This business structure combines elements of both partnerships and corporations while limiting the personal liability of the owners. This type also offers pass-through taxation, meaning the company's earnings and expenses pass through to the business owner's tax return. The owner pays tax on profits or deducts losses, along with other personal income and expenses. And fourth, corporation. A separate legal entity owned by stakeholders and shareholders. This structure offers limited liability for owners, but is subject to double taxation, which is when income is taxed at both the corporate and personal levels. And then we move to the role of small businesses in the economy. Small businesses are vital to the health and growth of the economy. They contribute significantly in various ways. The first role, job creation. Small businesses are a major source of employment, accounting for a substantial portion of job creation in many economies. They provide opportunities for local communities and help reduce unemployment rates. Second, economic diversity. A thriving small business sector contributes to a dual economy, reducing dependency on large corporations and promoting resilience against economic downturns. Third, innovation. Small businesses are often at the forefront of innovation. Their ability to adapt quickly to changing market conditions allows them to introduce new products and services, driving competition and economic growth. And then we move to starting a small business. Starting a small business can be a daunting task, but it can also be very rewarding. If you are thinking about starting a small business, there are a few things you need to do. The first you have to do your research. Before you start a business, you need to do your research and make sure there is a market for your product or service. You also need to understand the legal and financial requirements for starting a business. Second, create a business plan. A business plan is a roadmap for your business. It should include your business goals, your marketing strategy, and your financial projections. Third, get funding. You will need to raise money to start your business. There are a number of different ways to get funding, including loans, grants, and crowdfunding. And then fourth, marketing your business. Once you have your business up and running, you need to start marketing your product or service. There are a number of different ways to market your business, including online marketing, print advertising, and word of mouth marketing. And then fifth, manage your business. Once you have customers, you need to manage your business effectively. This includes tasks such as counting, customer service, and inventory management. And then we move to what's the difference between a startup and a small business. Some startups fit the definition of small businesses, but one of the differentiators is that a small business doesn't require major funding or investment like a startup. And while a startup aims to take over the market with an innovative ideas or product, a small business may not want more than serving local community. This can also be fight and tied to longevity expectations, with a small business hoping to stick around as long as they remain profitable, while a startup doesn't intend to remain a startup forever. They may aim to transition into a large public organization or even be bought out from a bigger organization. I think it is enough. Thanks for watching.